And Physics Wallah as a startup has been in focus for a while now. Obviously, first reason was when you saw in terms of Xylem Learning operates in a test prep segment for NEET as well as JEE as well. Now, that was one of the reasons. Other than that, we obviously spoke to Physics Wallah also in terms of just their business. Where do they see the growth growing? And my colleague Avanne Dubash caught up with the management.
Skilling is very, very close to our vision. And we are teaching millions of kids in test prep domain, starts from grade 9 to UPSC division. And recently we acquired iNeuron as a company to venture into a skilling domain. And we are committed to invest $15 million in this category. Starting with the tech skilling is something which we have launched: full stack development courses, data science courses, data analytics courses. And in future, we will be expanding to non-tech categories as well, where we will be skilling for a lot many non-tech categories like business development, operational management, as well as entrepreneurship courses. The primary TG is the college audience. We will be conducting so many hackathons, job fairs, creating college distributions, as well as venturing into offline learning centers of skilling as well. This is the company's plan for next 2 to 3 years, and we have allocated $15 million for this vertical.
So how many registered learners do you have at current, and enrolled in which courses? How many users are currently in the paid batches, and how many are using your free courses?
So currently we have close to 15 million total users on PW application, and 2.5 million paid users we have currently on a subscription basis. So this is the macro numbers which we have. Admissions in a batch varies from category to category, from exam to exam. We started out with a very unique idea of bringing affordability and quality in EdTech. And and we are the pioneer of this disruption, where we started teaching JEE NEET preparation in $50, close to 4,000 rupees for masses. And we have designed a very unique technology and product around it, where the lakhs of students studies in a one class with a very effective way of delivery by teachers, and a lot of subject matter experts are present in the live class to solve the doubts of those students. So currently, these are the numbers of test prep. In the skilling, we have ventured 3 months back. Currently, we have 45,000 students in the skilling, where they have taken the full stack development courses, front-end development courses, data analytics and data science courses with us. So primarily, currently, we are only in the tech skilling space, and eventually we will cover the entire spectrum of skilling domain.
Okay, let's talk financials then and discuss your numbers. I understand that in FY23, the revenue jumped about threefold to 780 crore rupees. How are you looking at your revenue growth projections, and what will that be driven by?
So, for FY24, again, we are targeting 2,500 CR of revenue at a group level. Primarily, 1,900 CR is the parent company PW will do, and 600 CR would be the contribution of the M&As which we already did. So this is the group level thing for FY24, and the growth, contribution is across sectors. Primarily is from the new test prep categories which we have started recently. So those categories are likely to grow by 3x, as well as we have started around 60 offline learning centers, which will scale to 100 offline learning centers. So that would be the second contribution of the growth. And the skilling category we will nurture this year. So the 100% growth is what we are anticipating in the skilling category, and next year we will try to scale it to 300%.
Wait, so just to get that number correct, you said 2,500 crores is what you're targeting for FY24 revenues at the group level, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. What about the outlook in terms of the ARR that you have clocked in for PW skills? What is it that you're planning to clock in, and how are you looking to achieve that number?
So for FY24, we are targeting 100 CR of ARR with the PW skills, and next year we are planning to scale it to 3x, which is 300 CR of ARR from the PW skills. The major contribution of this would be our tech skilling courses for this year, and next year we will diversify it to the entire skilling spectrum.
Okay. Now, I also understand that there are plans underway to strengthen the offline coaching center facility. You're looking to penetrate a lot more into the tier 2, 3 and 4, into the tier 3 and 4 cities as well. Take us through those plans and what the game plan is here.
So, currently the majority of the offline players are limited to tier 1 and 2 cities, but since PW have a huge user base across India, you name the pin code, we have a digital user there. So for us, it becomes very easy to open any center in tier 3, 4 cities, and so fundamentally there is no cost of acquisition for for these tier 3, 4 cities, So currently we are doing some POCs in tier 3, 4 cities. We are planning to launch Vidyapeeth Digital in these centers, which is and we will be taking the number 60 centers to 100 for this year. Currently, we have close to 1,15,000 admissions in Vidyapeeth 60 centers, which for FY24 this number will close down at 1.5 lakhs. For the next year, we are targeting 2.5 lakh admissions in offline learning centers.
Okay, fine. Just take us through how many students you've placed in what kind of companies, and what has been the success rate so far for the students?
So since we have started just 3 months back, so PW skills course haven't been completed. So there are not right metric for PW skills, but Inuron, which the company we have partnered and acquired, had a great track record of skilling people and placing students in across companies, so companies like Google, Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft. So some of the students got placed in product companies. Overall number is 10,000 students. 10,000 students got placed across these companies.
What is the outlook on competition as well scaling up? Because it's a tough sector and there are a lot of players. Of course, having a competitive pricing point is critical, which is something that you are looking at. But what is the game plan to retain market share?
So fundamentally, we have a very different playbook, as compared to the competitor. We rely on communities, we give a lot of free content and nurtured free communities over YouTubes, over other social media platforms. And then we try to monetize these communities. And our entry level price point for these courses is very affordable. Vis-a-vis the kind of support system, the hand holding, the job assistance which we did, nobody is giving at this price point. So that makes our penetration in the market very, very easy. And we adopt user at a very early stage, grade 9, and build a great trust and a brand equity at a very early stage. So, and we try to become the lifelong learning partner of the students. Any which ways, I am sending 2 million paid users to the colleges, we are which are studying from starting from the grade 9 to 12 with me. So it becomes the first choice to opt as a PW skills for the college audience. And as as my user get diversified and grows old, we will launch workforce upskilling courses, the existing workforce upskilling courses in future. But current focus of the company is the college upskilling and the first job upliftment for the students.
Okay, now the company had been on a series of, acquisition spree. There was Prep Online, Atlas Vortex, Utkarsh classes, just to name a few. What is your M&A strategy?
So, there are two aspects to this. One is to build a capability within the company. We have done a couple of M&As, to name them Freeco, Prep Online, Altis Vertex, Only IAS. So these are the M&As which we did to build a capability within the company. So Only IAS had an amazing track record of content as well as results in IAS domain. They had an amazing IP of books, which if we would have built, it would have taken a lot more time. So these are the M&As. I group them as a capability building. Along with that, there are a couple of M&As we did for the geographical expansion. One in the Middle East, that is Knowledge Planet. Another is Utkarsh Classes, which was a market leader in one-day examination courses. So other strategies, the geographical expansion, and if a certain exam category which we are not present, then we try to partner with the leader of that market. All these M&As, all these companies were profitable, and now with the PW's technology and the integration of our processes and the strategies, so we have seen amazing growth in these companies post acquisitions.
Okay, and of course you did achieve the coveted unicorn title as well last year. Take us through your fundraise plans, and are you looking at any further fundraising? What did that feel like to get the unicorn title?
So yeah, it's amazing feeling, So it was a maiden fundraise, So we had no partner in our cap table before this fundraise, and post fundraise we got the right visibility and the talent acquisition, and the partnerships becomes very easy because it gives you a great credibility in the market. This is the third year of consecutive profitability. We are profitable for FY24 also as per our projections. So we are not in a dire need of cash. We are a cash generating company. So this year we don't have plans to raise any funds. But if at all it will happen with the linkage of a marquee acquisition or a consolidation in the market. But no active plans to raise funds as such. And the company's clear focus is to grow existing verticals and go deeper in the categories. Probably next year, if we have a asset to acquire and assimilate with us, we may do fundraise.
Fair enough. And you're really also looking to leverage technology. You're looking to explore blockchain, cybersecurity, AR, VR focused courses as well to help strengthen the talent pipeline. How are you looking at growing the skilled tech workforce?
So we have 600 odd courses developed from iNeuron, which covers the entire spectrum of technology, the entire cutting edge technology, please, Web3, blockchain, crypto, AR, VR, all these courses have been covered. But fundamentally, that doesn't translate into a job. That is for a certain section of our students who just want to have a knowledge of this cutting edge technology. The fundamental focus is to upskill a talent to have a good job, to develop a good intuitive mindset so that they can code well and they can be placed in companies, in a product as well as service companies. But we do have end-to-end offering of these courses. The focus of the pedagogy is to develop data structures and algorithm aptitude in the kids so that it will be helpful for their long-term career.
What's your productivity hack?
So productivity hack is the team. Team keeps us more productive.
Your advice to the next generation of entrepreneurs?
So, next generation, we suggest to solve real problems, the problems which relieve the pain of the students and the customers.
What do you think is going to be the next breakthrough in the startup world?
Next breakthrough, I would say skilling is a domain which is like, bachelor's degree is a domain which is a blue ocean market. So someone will come and disrupt this market. Bit-size learning is something like, it's something picking up very quickly. So that is related to edtech. In general, startup, like, a gig workforce, any idea around a gig workforce would be the next big thing.
And who's the coolest person that you follow on social media? It could be Twitter or Instagram or any platform.
So, in social media, we follow Zerodha founders like Nikhil Kamath and Nitin Kamath, as well as in general in life, Ratan Tata and the story of Amul is very inspiring.
Okay, thanks very much for joining us, and good to get to know you better, and all the very best on the business. With the amount of time we spend on the computer, all of us are completely vulnerable to cyber attacks, a lot of phishing, identity theft, and even hijacking. Well, there's a Singapore-based cyber firm which is backed by Sequoia that aims to solve this problem. Vivek Ramachandran, who is the founder at SquareX, now joins in on the show to discuss how the company operates, the fundraise that they've got from Sequoia, as well as the long-term game plan. Thanks so much for taking time out. So just walk us through the latest, update in terms of how the company really operates when there are threats with file viruses, network attacks, as well as hijacking, which we're all so vulnerable to.
Yeah, thanks so much, Avanne, for having us on the show. And as you kind of mentioned, there are so many vulnerabilities and so many problems, and consumers are so worried, right? People have been losing money to phishing attacks, to scams and whatnot. And that's really where, SquareX is a cybersecurity company which is building a browser-based productivity-first solution to empower users to be fearless online. And the game-changing differentiator really is that all your existing security products, right? If you look at antiviruses, anti-malware, spyware, different security solutions which run on your computer and endpoints, they work by blocking access to files and resources. And what ends up happening is, consumers end up disabling or even uninstalling many of these solutions because they get in the way of productivity. Now, how many times, you may have received a Word file, you try to open it, your antivirus says, there's malware, and you don't know what to do. So SquareX's game-changing differentiator is we do not block anything at all, because we know that users don't like to be controlled. Users need to remain productive.
Okay, understood. So that's exactly how you're differentiating yourself from some of the other cybersecurity companies. So Vivek, you scored a $6 million fundraise from Sequoia Capital. Walk us through the details of that fundraise and in terms of the overall valuation and what the company plans to utilize the proceeds toward.
Yeah. These are tough times where, a lot of companies are having difficulty raise capital. And that's really where, what we had done is, even before we went to anyone, I gathered the team together and we actually ended up creating a very early prototype of how the product would look like. And that's when we went to investors. So they actually knew that this was not just an idea, but it had legs. And, Sequoia has been an investor in my previous company as well, which I did a while back. And we ended up raising $6 million from them. The primarily place where we would probably end up using this is breaking it up between research and development, where, of course, we want our engineers to go ahead and build more and more robust technology to take care of all the threats of today. And then investing in a go-to-market strategy. Given the product that we are building is something, anyone who browses the web would probably end up using, our strategy is going to be global first. And that's what we plan to use, part of the funds for.
Fair enough. I'm going to admit that, Vivek, I actually today, went on ChatGPT and really used it. And oh my God, I am floored. But the question is, with this AI revolution and, IoT and ChatGPT really coming about, will this make being online or being in the cyber world a lot more unsafe for users? For example, What would I need to be more aware of now that I'm using ChatGPT?
Yeah, great question. And really technology is moving at a breakneck pace, right? Every few months now you're seeing disruptions which are fundamentally changing the way we are probably going to work and live. And that's really where, as an end consumer, as a user who's probably using, their browser and laptop to, go ahead, use it for work, use it for study and whatnot, it's very difficult for end users to stay up to date with attacks. So even though you love ChatGPT for the, great stuff that it writes, know that now your phishing emails and scam emails are going to sound more and more real, right? They're not going to have grammatical mistakes anymore, where you can easily look at them and spot something is wrong. And all of those AI-empowered cybersecurity attacks is also going to be rolled out just at the same time.
Oh my God, so I really need to be more aware. Because as you said, it clearly is going to make now even my spam a lot more customized. But, Vivek, you've spent close to or over 20 years of experience in the cybersecurity industry. Just walk us through your experience on having built these security products over the past many years. What the outlook is in terms of the next breakthrough in cybersecurity, or what you believe people need to do to be more aware.
Great question. And I think if you look at the evolution of the cybersecurity industry, it all began with trying to force users into behaviors that the cybersecurity product wanted. So as a simple example, for the past 20 years, we've been told that anytime your cybersecurity product says, don't do this or don't do that, we immediately stop dead in our tracks, even if that gets in the way of productivity. And this went on for the last 15 to 20 years. Where I think users, unfortunately, started disabling products, did not want to use cybersecurity products, hated them, right? Because they always get in the way. And I think this is really where, now that the internet, the web, and technology overall is so ubiquitous in every aspect of our life, right? We are living almost an entirely digital life. It's probably not going to be possible to constrain users the way these products have forced users over the past 20 years.
And let's now turn our focus to the other big story of the day, and this is with respect to the EV industry. The EV makers have written a letter to Union Minister for Commerce and Industry, Piyush Goyal. Earlier, they had written to Niti Aayog and, of course, to Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, writing about their woes, writing about the challenges that they're facing as a result of the rollback of subsidy, of FAME 2 subsidy. The second issue that the industry is currently facing is with respect to, of course, the subsidy getting slashed from 40% subsidy component to 15% subsidy component. They've also mentioned the third big issue that they're facing, which is that 1,200 crore worth of subsidy dues are pending. So that should be resolved as well. So what are the contents of the letter? Let me read out them to you one by one. So EV makers are mentioning that this issue is being watched closely. This space is being watched closely by investors. Banks and financial institutions are refusing to extend credit. They're also mentioning that unpaid dues, unpaid subsidy dues are impacting payments, are impacting vendors, are impacting employees. Their morale is down. They're anxious. Dealerships are shutting down. Some startups are on the brink of collapse. The situation is near breaking point. So they are requesting the government to urgently resolve this issue, to urgently intervene. And what else are they asking for in the near term as part of a resolution mechanism? They are asking for a 3,000 crore subsistence fund to support EV makers so that government's ambitious plan of reaching 30% electrification can be met by 2030. And of course, this development of the EV sector is not derailed. Secondly, they are asking for a 10% green tax on polluting vehicles, polluting two-wheelers that could offer some balance. And of course, they are asking for interest-free loans or grants. So basically, some financial help, some financial aid to keep the momentum going as far as the EV ecosystem is concerned.
With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Startup Central on ET Now. Remember, you can write to us on suc@etnow.tv and catch you at the same time tomorrow.